As a young man, this artist painted beautiful, realistic landscapes. But Pete Mondrian kept simplifying his subject until he produced this style, called non-objective, because there are no objects and no emotion. It is said that Mondrian's use of color and balance is perfect. Mondrian often took a year to complete one painting. This was his last work and was never finished. It's called Victory Boogie Woogie.
Hey guys, it's Norm from Tested.com. I'm here in New York City at the Art of the Brick exhibit in the Discovery Center, Times Square. Now, we're big fans of Lego here on Tested, big champions of Lego. But I don't think we've met a bigger fan of Lego than Nathan Sway here. Hey Nathan, this is your exhibit.
This is my exhibit. Thanks for coming and checking it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been building Lego professionally as a sculptor for almost a decade now.
Yeah, I left my former job. I was an attorney here in New York City.
All right.
I was a corporate attorney, and I left that to play with bricks full time. And that's what I do. I have fun. I create artwork using just Lego bricks.
And a lot of people might have seen your work online. We're standing right in front of one of your most famous pieces.
Sure.
Yellow?
Yellow. And that's because I love Coldplay.
Of course.
Right. Yes, Yellow has become a very iconic piece. I've seen it in so many different places over the years.
And it's very representative of the type of sculpture you do because it's monochromatic and you're very interested in the human form.
Yeah, I think the human form was something that I discovered really worked out of Lego bricks. I think Lego is fun as a toy and we've all played with it and built cars and trucks. But when you start taking it into a different realm, and that's into the contemporary art world, I wanted to focus on something different, and that was the human form. Because not only was it fun to sculpt like that, it also could put some emotion into the artwork and really take it to the next level.
As someone who works with thousands and thousands of bricks, millions of bricks even.
I'd go with millions.
Millions of bricks. You have studios.
Yes.
You work like an artist has studios to work purely with Lego. Can you describe what happens in the studio?
All right, so the art studios, I have one in New York and one in Los Angeles, and they are full of millions of bricks each. And on those, in those studios are shelves and shelves where all the bricks are sorted by shape and color. Of course, I need that because when I'm working, I want to be able to just grab bricks depending on what I need. Now the process, of course, it all starts with an idea, and that's what the main thing is. Once I come up with that idea, whatever it is, there's a lot of doodling and sketching. That's an important component. And I actually carry a sketchbook with me wherever I go, so I can jot down ideas. Fortunately, I get to travel a lot. I have exhibits all over the world, and so I carry that sketch pad. So whenever I'm in a different place, meeting different types of people, different cultures, I can use that and kind of feed off of that for the idea. And then when I get into the more sophisticated sketching, I'm working on something called brick paper. Now brick paper is kind of like graph paper, but instead of having squares like on the graph paper in math class, it has little rectangles that are the shape of Lego bricks. So that helps and kind of starts a blueprint for when I'm working.
So it's not something done on the computer?
No, now I'm drawing this out by hand.
Oh, okay.
Now when I get into the actual sculpting, there are times where I need to glue things. And that's mainly because over time I've learned that when you're shipping Lego sculptures around the world, they need to arrive in one piece. It's funny, museums get grumpy when they open up a crate and it's just loose Lego bricks.
Right.
And a sign that says some assembly required.
And you personally lay every brick, right? You don't have like a team of assistants that
No, I am the one artist in my shop. This is what I love to do, is the actual building. So I have a great team that helps with all the logistics, the packing, the crating, the shipping. But when it comes to the art, that's me, that's these hands.
Now, I'm sure this is a question you get asked a lot, but where do you get the Lego from? Like, do you work with the company, Lego? Do you place a phone call?
Well, I have a very good business relationship with the Lego company. I'm a very unique customer. I actually have developed a relationship where I can email them and buy millions of bricks at a time.
Pick up the phone and say, I need 100,000 red rectangular bricks.
Yeah, it's something like that. I usually get a few thousand bricks every month, a few tens to 100,000 bricks every month, and they're big shipments. I mean, it's kind of surreal when you see pallets of Lego bricks being dumped out on the sidewalk here in New York in front of my studio, but that's how it works.
But it's not, they're not connected.
No,
right.
no, they're loose in boxes.
Now you mentioned you also have like a relationship with Lego. About a decade ago, you got the title of Master Builder. So those people are the people who build the sculptures for like Lego stores or
or
Legoland
and that type of stuff. For me, I wanted to be able to take on different projects and kind of choose my own path. But at the time, it was fun and interesting to just get the title Master Builder. To get that title, there is an interesting exam process, part of which involves building a sphere.
Oh, that makes sense. You have to think it's like drawing a sphere is not easy. Building a sphere in Lego, of all things, can't be that easy.
Well, it's all about curves, right? In the end, that's what's important. So during the exam, what happened was they gave me a pile of bricks and 45 minutes and said, build a sphere. And then after I worked for a while and finished up my sphere, the next part was to take that sphere and roll it across the floor. And if it rolled properly, you move on. If it just kind of goes off to the side, you've likely built a cube. Now, it's important that it actually rolls.
Now, another question I'm sure people ask when they see sculptures, three-dimensional sculptures, is what's inside? Is it all Lego brick?
Right. A lot of folks ask, are the sculptures hollow or solid? And they're actually hollow. As you can see in yellow, as you can see into the chest cavity there, it's hollow. And that's how it is with almost all the sculptures. The main reason is because it'd be so heavy and you just don't need it to be solid. Plus, it'd be a little expensive.
But there are support structures on the side.
Right. There's lattices built out of Lego bricks.
It's like a 3D print almost.
Yeah, a little bit, exactly. There'll be lattice work crisscrossing throughout the sculpture to make sure it's keeping its form.
And in terms of scale, some of the work, it's massive. We're talking about 50,000 pieces or so.
Or more.
Or more. Scales, is that something that interests you?
Well, I think it's fun, doing these exhibitions to have a few big pieces that are gigantic. There's a dinosaur here that measures over 20 feet long and uses over 80,000 Lego bricks. It's pretty fun to walk into a room. It's fun for me to be in the room and watch kids' mouths drop open when they see this thing. So scale is kind of a key component on at least some of the work. It's tough because it takes time. That dinosaur, for example, took me 3 months to build. It was an entire summer I was working on it. And so to devote yourself to a project like that for 3 months can drive you a little crazy at times. I was working on those ribs. Photography, it was just a perfect fit. We talked about this for a few years, about how we can make this happen, and we collaborated on a project where we took his photography and my sculptures and integrated the two. So we did these large prints of different scenes, and then somewhere in the scene, part of the scene is built out of Lego, and it gives it a very pixelated look to it because, of course, Lego is a bit pixelated. All those little squares and rectangles give it that pixelated feel. Now we put it into a photograph that gives it a little bit more meaning. And then when we do an exhibition of that work, we're able to have both the photograph and the artwork at the same time on display and kind of really surround the people with the work.
And I've heard you've also done some street art.
I do a bit of street art,
So talk a little about that.
I have something called the Hugman. Now, Hugman is a little figure. He's about 15 inches tall, and he just hugs things. He hugs signposts, he hugs trees, bike racks, and I've left hundreds of them all over the city over the years. Smile on people's faces.
You stand around and see what the reaction? And
Well, yeah. From time to time, I've hung out. I've gone to like a coffee shop and watched. It's New York, so some people stop and take photos. Some
they want a Nathan Sway original.
Yeah,
right.
So I've seen some Hugmen walk away over the years, but that's part of the fun.
All right. And do you feel like it's been a challenge convincing people? I know early on probably that Lego it could be an art medium.
Yeah, I think when I was first doing this, I had galleries who kind of laughed at the idea. And I was like, no, I'm trying to create art out of Lego. And they expected to see cars and trucks and toy sets. I was like, no, it's not what you're thinking at the toy store. This is something completely different. Fortunately, over the years, I've had opportunities to do solo exhibitions, and now the art community has come around, and this exhibition has been critically acclaimed, so it's been pretty exciting.
And what would you have to say to people out there who maybe want to dabble in Lego art?
I think it's important to dabble in any type of art, right? I mean, that's the whole idea, is that I hope that this type of exhibition inspires folks to really create on their own. And it doesn't have to be human-sized sculptures that take months to create. It could be whatever you're doing, just a little bit of doodling, finger painting with the kids, or maybe building with Lego. All of it's important because it makes people happier. I mean, just doing a little doodling will make you a happier person. I mean, not to mention, there's studies out there that if If kids are exposed to art in their curriculum, they do better in school, higher graduation rates. Art makes you healthy, art makes you smarter, art makes you happy.
I hope that you had fun learning about the two artists, Mondrian, and also the artist who's famous for making Lego creations. Remember, Mondrian's artwork is very abstract, and you can see just by looking at some of the different paintings that he did, he uses mostly shapes, geometric shapes like squares and rectangles, and he uses straight lines. Our learning goal today is that you will be able to create your own abstract design inspired by the artist Mondrian. We also want to understand the three different categories of art. There's realistic artwork, where the artist represents things the way they really look. There's abstract artwork, where the artist uses his or her imagination to change things on purpose. And then there's non-objective artwork that has no recognizable objects that make up the image. It's all lines, shapes, colors, and textures. So, if you think that you can create a design that's abstract, then you can get your Lego Mondrian inspired art sheet. The first thing that we need to do with pencil is write your name at the top. We always write our name on our artwork. We also want to put the class code. So that is the first letter of your teacher's name and your grade. So if you're in Miss Davis's class, it would be D1. Once you've put your name on your paper with your code, you want to start with number 1, which is a question that asks you about the element of art, lines. What types of lines did Mondrian use in his artwork? Circle the different types of lines that you see in his artwork. Number 2, what types of shapes did he use in his artwork? So shapes are an important element of art. You only want to circle the shapes that you saw in Mondrian's artwork. And then question number 3 is about the third element of art, and that is color. Mondrian only used 3 colors, and they are called the primary colors. You want to write down what those primary colors are in those 3 blanks. Those are the most important colors that you can see. Step 4 is to use the grid paper on the back of the page to sketch your own Mondrian design. Draw the lines with pencil, and then we're going to color the shapes with marker or colored pencils, only using colors that Mondrian would have used. Now there's a math challenge involved with this project as well. For first and second grade, see if you can find the perimeter of one of the shapes in your design. Perimeter is the distance around your shape. So if you count up the little Lego circles around each side and add them together, you can find the perimeter. Third, fourth, and fifth grade, we're going to step it up a little bit. You should be able to find the perimeter and the area of some of your shapes. So let's try to see if we can get our math and art all combined into this awesome project. Once you understand what perimeter is and you understand how to start drawing your design, then you're going to use pencil and think of what kind of a cool composition you can make. It can be balanced with symmetry, so both shapes on the same side, or it can be unbalanced. It's up to you. But try to be creative and think of a really cool design. This picture by Piet Mondrian is called Composition with Red, Blue, and Yellow, made in 1930. There's one big square on one side and a little blue square on the bottom. Now this one does not have balance, at least it has asymmetrical balance. So I'm going to think of a design that starts with a square, and remember he outlines his shapes with black. So we want to have one row with black, and you want to count the rows to make sure if you're trying to make a square has all the same sides. So I'm going to count these sides, and I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if there are 10 Legos across, there need to be 10 Legos down. So 10, each side has 10, that is my square. Now, I don't want to just have a square, I want to add some other shapes too. So I'm going to have a rectangle next to the square. It's going to be the same height, but maybe a different length. And then I'm going to add another shape up below it and keep doing a cool design. Primary colors and black and white. So I'm going to start with black, and I'm going to use marker. And what I'm going to do is just go over the edges with the black.
Say X.
It. Alright, now I've colored in my design. Before I start making out of Legos, I need to find the perimeter of at least one. So I'm going to write P equals, and I'm going to find out the perimeter of the red square. So I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know this is 9, so I need to do 9 plus 9 at the bottom. Plus, how many are on the side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus 9 on the side, plus 9 on this side. So 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. What does that equal, Rudy? 18?
18? Yes!
Plus 18. Let me add that up over here. 18 plus 18 is 6. 16, carry the 1, it's 36.
Isn't that beautiful?
So the perimeter of this square is 36, and there's my design. Now I can put away my markers, and I can get my Lego building plate. Now I want to look at my design and try to make it exactly the same as the building plate. So I know I need this to be 9. So I'm going to start on this corner. This is going to be black. So maybe I'll start with some black Legos. Okay, so I'm going to try to build it as close as I can, but if you can't make it exactly like your picture, like if you don't have enough black, you can also use gray. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.